Hey guys, I've got another video here. I finally got around to making this one. I said I'd do it at the beginning of the series. I'm gonna talk about in depth how we made this fort. I tried making this video yesterday, but I got home kinda late and I thought I'd have enough daylight time left. But I started filming and about halfway through the video it got dark, and when I came home to edit it, it was too hard to see on my computer. And I realized I didn't lock this back up when I left. So, it's not a huge deal, but... So I guess we'll get started. So there's these 4 posts that are supporting the fort, and that's what we started with. The deck wasn't put on until we finished the fort. These are 6x6 posts, and they're, I think, 10 or 14 feet long. Probably, yeah, they're probably 14 because we dug 4 feet down into the ground and then put some gravel at the bottom. And the reason for that is when we put the post in, we didn't want it to rot in the ground, so the gravel just keeps the water from getting up to the post. And then we filled concrete in around it and made sure it was level. And then we put props up. I think I've already used them for something else, but we put props to hold them in place while they were level. And we did that 4 times. The holes were of varying depths just because we're on a slight incline, I guess, going up this way. So then after that, get up on our table here, we have these 2x6s, and there's one on either side of the post, and then it's bolted through from both sides, or no, just one side, sorry. And then you can see up there we cut the post in half up at the top so we could put 2 2x6s there for more support on the edges, and the same is true for this side. I don't know how well you can see that, but and then sorry, the rest of the 2x6s in the middle, those are what's holding up the floor, and they're mounted to these 2x6s by means of this type of bracket. I don't know what it's called, but it goes from one flat surface, turns 90 degrees to another, so that makes up that part of it. And we really just did the same thing all over. For the next part, show you the ladder, I guess. So this is actually, it's got hinges up there, so this does move. And at one point we were going to make it so that it would retract all the way up, and we'd have a hole drilled on that side where we could tie a rope to the bottom. Like you can see, at one point I did have the rope tied to it, I guess. Maybe I don't remember what we did. I think we might have hauled it up from the deck. But so it can fold up. That way when you're in here and you don't want anyone else coming in, you are protected. So there's a padlock here which I neglected to use last night. And so this piece will go around that piece sticking out, and then you put the lock through it and you can't open it. We have these little pieces of wood as a ladder so you can pull yourself up once you get up here. And I'm not sure if it should close. But we have a handle here too, so you can, it's not impossible to lift up when you need it to. The only problem with that wow, sorry. The only problem with that is that the handle will sometimes just fall down, and then you can't push it against the wall all the way. So that it's kind of hard to close sometimes. I'm having trouble with this. Okay, so the inside, as you probably have already seen, we have the chair, the 2 bunk beds. The bunk bed we already had. We didn't make it. It's the one I had from when I was little. The walls are just like, I guess like you do a house normally. You can see the framing around the windows, there's extra, and the the horizontal slats for support. And then we put those up first. We hauled the frame in one big piece, and then after that we got up on ladders and nailed the plywood into it, or well, screws actually. That's better. The windows themselves they're plastic, and an old friend of ours gave us them for free, so free's always good. And same with the door. The door came with the windows, and it's got a lock on it, but you'd have to, I don't know why, I mean, we don't usually lock that because there's locks on both the escape hatch and the trapdoor, so you'd have to be really motivated to want to steal something from a tree fort, which there's nothing in here. Speaking of which, there's some storage compartments. I have some old stuff, and there's just pieces of paintball guns and a flashlight. Over here, we've got some nails and screws that are left over when we built the deck. I can show you that. So these are 4x1s, I'm pretty sure, and they're screwed into those 1 or 2x6s that I showed you on the underside, or maybe I didn't. I'll show you the underwork of the deck because I didn't do that. These are 2x2 posts, and they're attached to 2x4s, and the corners are kind of, I don't know how to explain it, they're set up like this so that this is attached to that, and then there's 2 corner pieces holding it up. The deck is wider than the fort itself, so there's this little spacing piece. Yeah. The roof, go inside to show you. Same setup as most of the other stuff. There's 2x4s that are connected by those diamond brackets. I don't know, that's just what they look like. I'm not sure that's actually what they're called. But, so they're set up like that, so they can rest on the diamond brackets. And on the other side, we just cut holes in the 2x4 for them to rest on. And above that, we have more 4x1s like we did on the deck, and those are supporting up styrofoam for insulation. And on top of that, as you probably have already seen, is the tin roofing, the paneling. In the back, we have my broken rifle. We used to have markers. We had a dry erase board to like say what we were gonna do, like game type wise. There's a little table here, extra wood. There's a saw and a splitting maul. We don't use that much. We have, for the back, I just recently put these on, but it's the same setup as how the door hatch is held up. It's an eye bolt and this piece, which locks onto it that way. You can't move it, and there's another one down there. But you lift that up and then you can get out. I think I've covered everything I need to, so I'll just go down this way. It's more fun. Oh, we just have a bunch of junk here. When we were little, we had this tire swing here. It's shaped to look like a horse. When we were putting these up, we had a bunch of braces. I think that's what most of those planks are. But they were holding them together. Like this one was one of them, and we just left that there because it's just like a handrail when you're getting up. The underside of this is just like the underside of that, except it's chemically treated wood because the deck is open to the elements because the water can leak through the cracks. We also have a brace there for when we were building it, before we put the the deck pieces on themselves. And there's a brace here, also when we were building it. This one I was going to rip off and use for something else, but it's chemically treated, so I'm not sure I'd want to use it. And also I think it's screwed in up there, so I don't want to just rip it out. The birds are loud. Which, speaking of birds, at some point I'm going to have to take this brace down because the birds, it's spring and they're going to want to nest here. And the last time they did that, my finger broke, because I guess I can tell you the story now. It's pretty funny. My friends and I were up here, and we were going to knock down a bird nest because we thought it was empty. It was like halfway through summer, but they had reused it, so we poked it and the birds fell down and they fell out of their nest. The birds we saved, but the mom bird got freaked out, so I was here and she was flying by and I slipped and I had my fingers right here and the door hatch closed on it, and I don't know if you can tell my the nail still is weird. So if you guys want to make a trapdoor like this, but you want like safer than this, because it'll fall on its own, like without this here, what you can do is you could drill a hole through here, and on the other side, or you detach a piece of string or rope to this, and on the other side have like a counterweight that's not so heavy that you can't pull this. It wouldn't be so heavy that you can't push this down, but it'd be heavy enough that it wouldn't fall once it's detached, and then you won't have problems like breaking your finger. I guess one more thing I should do before the battery dies is the slide is set up on those two pieces of wood. We have a 2x6 piece mounted to the side itself, and then the 2x4 is on top of that with a bracket, and the slide is screwed into that, and it comes down here and it is nailed to this, or screwed into this 2x6, which is attached to that post, which is dug into the ground, and it's really sturdy. It's not going to go anywhere. That little piece of weather stripping is just so that when rain comes down the side, it does not leak into the fork, and it is held down by those shiny little bracket things. You might have seen these, you might have had questions. This is cable for a zip line that I don't know if we know where the instructions are. They're not in the box it came in. But eventually we'll find those and set it up, hopefully this summer. And then this is a curtain that used to be in my room. The sucky thing is that spiders come in and they lay nests, or whatever you would call what they lay in. But that's just there to block out the sun. It's too bright. Hopefully that's it. That's about it though. If I left anything out that you'd like to know, I guess let me know in the comments. My battery's about to die, so I might have missed something, or even just shoot me a message. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.